What's up, guys? It's Jimmy from TB Game Boys here, doing a fantastic Black Ops 2 commentary that I'm really excited about. I think this is a good commentary that everybody can kind of get some kind of insight from or learn from. And I think it's a really cool story because it tells you a little bit about who I was in school, I guess you could say. Like, what was the kind of stuff I was up to when I was, a lot younger and things like that. So, this story is kind of embarrassing, I'm not going to lie to you, but, when aren't my stories embarrassing? So, let's get started. When I was in 7th grade, I was bullied a lot as a kid. I was bullied a lot, picked on for, I have glasses, I'm a little nerdy guy. I'm not tough, so to speak, and people used to pick on me a lot. And when I mean pick on, I don't mean like, they'd beat me up and like steal my lunch and stuff like that, but they'd poke fun at me, because they knew I wouldn't do anything, because I'm not that kind of kid. I'm not the kind of kid who fights people, or I wasn't, at least. So, when I was in 7th grade, what happened was, in our lunch hour, the first semester, which is the first half of the year, you could sit wherever you want. You could sit in any table with any number of your friends, and everything was cool. But there was this portion of the day called study hall, and study hall was, for the first half of the lunch hour, you had to sit in silence and do work. So, that never worked out too well in my school. Because my friends and me and my class, we all just, it wasn't something that was fun, so we talked instead. We didn't like it. However, come sooner or later, we would get in trouble, and more trouble than that, and eventually we were in so much trouble that they had to put us in alphabetical order in table seating, so all the A's were on this level of the lunchroom was several tiers, of seating, and there was tier 1, all the A's, B's, and C's through whatever, and they'd all be in alphabetical order, so this table would have PAP through PE, whatever, and I got put at a table with a whole bunch of kids with the last name P, and I don't know what it is about the last, that was a weird squeak there, I'm sorry. I don't know what it is about the kids with the last name P, but some of them are real nice, like me, but a lot of them that were in my school are just scary. I don't even have a word for it. They're just plain scary kids. And, I guess if you look at it now, who they are now as human beings, you're like, wow. That would, had I seen that 7th grade, I probably would have been talking to these people. I digress, though. So, one of the girls, Angie, she's a good friend of mine now. I've talked about her a couple times in videos. And she's, she's always been there for me. She's a good friend. At this time, we weren't really good friends, though. So, we would talk and stuff, but it was, she had better friends than me at the table. So, one day, this one kid, Steve, is picking on me, calling me names, whatever. So, he gets up to leave the table. And one of the other kids, Sam, takes a pencil and just stabs his sandwich. Stabs Steve's sandwich with a pencil. So we all, we're giggling and laughing. We're in 7th grade. We thought it was the funniest thing that ever happened. And you would have thought we'd seen the face of God. We were laughing that hard. We were, completely uncontrollable. So Steve comes back, and he's like, "Oh, stabbed my sandwich," cursing at us. Everyone goes, "Oh, it was Jimmy. Jimmy stabbed your sandwich." And he goes, When that teacher turns around, I'm going to shove this sandwich right in your mouth and make you eat it." Now, a lot of you probably don't know this, but I do not I'm very picky with my food. I don't eat lunch meat. I don't eat, processed meat. I think it's disgusting. I can't, I get, the chills just thinking about it. It's so gross. So he takes this sandwich and he pushes it in my face, and he's pushing it down my throat, into my mouth and into my, throat, down, past my uvula. So I'm choking. I'm not, choking, unable to breathe, but, choking, gagging. And I'm like, what do I do? In this situation, your survival skills kick in, fight or flight responses, I guess you could call them. I bit this kid right in the hand, as hard as I could. You've seen people, like a bite, well, this was a bite and hold on and, rip skin. This was bad. And he pulls his hand away from my mouth, and there's blood on his hand. I'm like, oh, God. I just went full rabid dog on that poor guy. So I feel bad about it, but, I'm not taking it back, and I'm not going to apologize and, look like a little pussy. So, that was Friday. So Monday rolls around, and I tell my favorite teacher, he's my social studies teacher, I tell him, look, I got this bully at my table, I don't want to sit there anymore because he's going to beat me up. 'Cause he told me Friday he's going to punch me in the face. I'm like, I don't want that, I don't want to get in trouble, just take me away from the table, put me somewhere else, I don't care where you put me, just anywhere. He's my favorite teacher. He goes, yeah, sure, I'll do it. So he moves me. The lunch period ends, and they're all yelling at me, trying to, kind of get my goat, I guess you could say. And he comes over, and I turn around. I'm in 7th grade. I'm very sensitive. I freak out. I'm like, I am sick and tired of your bullshit. And I push him. And he looks at me, and I looked at him. He pushes me back and just punches me right in the face. And what you guys don't understand about me is, this is going to sound like, oh, I'm really tough. I'm actually a pretty tough kid. Like, this guy punched me, and it didn't even faze me. Like, he punched me right in the nose. It didn't even faze me. I looked back, I was about to, attack him. This kid's, a lot bigger than me. I was about to just attack him. So the lunch ladies break it up, and I gotta go down to the principal's office. It was a whole ordeal. It really sucked, honestly. But that was my first fight, guys. Don't get into fights when you're in school. It's bad business. So if you like the video, please click like down below and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.